How to get a mortgage if you're a plumber or a pipe fitter. Adam, I know you're going to watch this video. If you're a plumber or a pipe fitter, you've probably heard from the bank that your income is hard to prove. My name is Sean.rampersaud. I'm one of the top mortgage brokers in Canada, and today I'm going to be explaining to you exactly how to get a mortgage if you're a plumber or a pipe fitter. I know that the banks have issues with this, and I want to let you know that I specialize in this type of financing, and there are banks that have special products specifically for you. Stick around to the end because I'm going to explain to you how you can use your trade income in order to qualify for a mortgage and save money the smart way. Here's the truth. The banks do not understand tradespeople. They love predictable T4 income, employment letters, that type of thing, because they like to see what the guaranteed money is and where it's coming from. But plumbing and pipe fitting does not work like that. Some of your income might be contract-based, some of your income might be hourly, some of your income might be self-employed income. Who knows where it's coming from? And some of you may be even union. So you could make 180 grand a year, but then you're only showing $60,000 of income on your T4. The bank will see this as low income. The way I see it is a hardworking business owner getting everything done, and other banks will see it exactly the way I see it. It just has to be presented correctly. So the worst mistake you could make would be walking into a bank and dealing with an inexperienced person that does not understand tradespeople. So feel free to give me a call. Doesn't matter where you are in Canada. Call me anytime if you are going to be applying for a mortgage, because I understand your products and the rates that I can get you are generally better than what you can ever get walking into a bank anyway. So I want to talk about a few things. The first one is credit. Number one, your credit utilization should be under 30% overall. I want you to make sure your credit score is 680 or above. The reason I want you to get that credit score to 680 or above is because the best rates and the highest qualification amount is on 680 or above. If you have credit in the 600s, I can still get you approved. If you have credit in the 400s, I can still get you approved, but you have to put more down. For the lowest down payment, you have to have 680 or above, and you'll be able to qualify for the max value of property. Make sure in the 2 years before you're applying for a mortgage, you're making sure you make all your payments on time. Make your minimum payment. That's all you need to do. Make your minimum payments on time, because it's going to be reflective about what you get for an interest rate in the end. And avoid dealing with multiple lenders. So I had a customer the other day. He went and he thought he was rate shopping and doing something smart. He went and dealt with 20 different people. They all pulled his credit bureau. It was an absolute disaster. The other thing you got to watch out for is car dealerships. So if you're shopping around for a vehicle or anything like that, and you're letting car dealerships pull your credit, sometimes they pull your credit 10 times at every single dealership that you go to. That's another disaster, because every time your credit's pulled, the rate goes, your overall credit score goes down every single time your credit's pulled, and that is going to directly affect your rate. What I do is I pull your credit one time, I go and shop you all over the place at every single bank, and I come back to you with all the rates from every single bank, and you decide on which one you want to go with. So as far as credit score goes, 680 or above is the best. If you have 630 or below, then you're starting to get into the realm where you're going to have to put more down. So definitely, if you're 600 or below, you have to put more down. You're going to have to put 20% down or more if you're a 600 or below. And that's on your Equifax Credit Bureau. In the comments below, I'm going to put a link to some videos on how to fix your Equifax and how to fix your TransUnion Credit Bureau, just so you have it. You definitely need a broker that understands your trade. And I know in the plumbing pipe fitting space that there's a lot to it, and there's a lot of different ways you get paid. So I want to talk about the type of documentation you're going to need for different types of plumbing and pipe fitters. Number one is the average company. So you're an employee at a plumbing company, and they're giving you pay stubs every 2 weeks, and they're giving you your hourly paycheck, and they give you a T4. Some people will work at a company for a very long time. So the same plumbing company for a very long time. That type of person is going to need last 2 years T4s. And I'm going to average the last 2 years T4 in order to get to an income amount. Now, that being said, I have a trick where I can use your T4s from the current year as well, because a lot of times people make more money in the current year than they did in the previous year. So I would take your most recent pay stub to figure out what your income is at for that current year, and mix it with the previous year. And that's a full 2 years worth of income. So I can up your income. The second type of plumber pipe fitter is the one that's a contract basis. So they're jumping around from one contract to the other, working from one company to the other company. For those people, I need all of your T4s for the last 2 years from every single company and your most recent pay stub. Um, the last type of employee, plumbing pipe fitter employee, is the corporation. So a person that's self-employed. For those people, I need all your incorporation docs, your last 2 years of business financials, proof that your taxes are paid on time, and your last 12 months of bank statements. Now, for those people, we can use a program called the Stated Income Program, and that is a huge, huge benefit. A lot of people I know that own corporations in the plumbing and pipe fitting space, they have a significant gross revenue. Like if you're making enough money that you want to open up a corporation and go through everything that's involved in a corporation, you're probably making higher gross revenue. And then you personally are probably claiming a lower personal tax amounts. This is just a tax strategy to save money on taxes. Well, one thing I'm able to do is I'm able to take a percentage of your gross revenue and state your income. So just make up a personal income. So for example, a person that's making 500 grand in gross revenue as a self-employed person, like, you know, they own a corporation. If you own a corporation yourself, that person, I would be able to state an income of about 200,000 for, and the banks will accept it. It's deadly. Uh, if you have really bad credit, let's talk about that for a second. If you have crappy credit, I need a bigger down payment. I need you to put 20% down, and then I could just use your last 12 months of bank statements in order to get you approved. The down payment can be gifted. It can come from, you know, more or less any source that's provable. When I say gifted, it would have to be gifted from like a family member, mom, dad, sister, brother, that type of thing, grandparent. And if you're a union employee, I could use your T4s for the last 2 years along with a union letter. Now, this is pretty cool because if you're not on a job right now and you're in between jobs, I could use your union letter and your last 2 years to kind of prove what your income was, and the banks will accept the union letter. Some banks will accept the union letter, not all. So here's some tips I want to give you to get approved faster. Number one is make sure you're filing your taxes on time. Number two is try to keep good credit, 680 or above. Don't go out and buy all the trucks and trailers and tools and that type of thing and finance everything. Usually even when you own a company, you still have to put those under your personal name as well as the company name. So it's going to be sitting on your credit bureau, and it's going to prevent you from qualifying for a higher amount. And if you're working hard, you're a hardworking Canadian employee, you definitely deserve to own a property. Give me a call before you call your bank or before you call any other brokers. I understand the trade game, and I can get this done for you. My name is Sean.rampersaud. Check out my other videos. I've got tons of stuff on how to save for a down payment, how to save money as a trade person, you name it. Thanks for watching.